Instead of focusing your energy on a million outreach messages and a million emails and a million this, go after super connectors, follow people, see who they're listening to, see who they're hanging out with, and see if you can get in good with those people. What's going on, everybody? Travis Stevenson here, and we're back with another diary, journal entry, if you will, into our building a $10,000 a month agency from scratch. As we go, I want to bring up any tips, anything that I can think of that might help you if you're trying to accomplish a similar goal. And here's one thing that I teach, that I believe in, that I do myself, and that's already helped me get clients in the door. So at this moment, we've got about 11 or 12 people in what I would call our pipeline. When you're starting your agency, you go from having no communication, no clients, to, okay, now I'm talking to people. That would be considered pipeline. They're not clients yet, but you're close. So I've got about 10 to 12 people in the pipeline, and the way that I did that is a little different than what most of you guys are looking at from the outside. So where you're at right now, you might be thinking, okay, in order for me to get a client, I've got to start reaching out to thousands of people in order to get to the number where, you know, a couple of people will reach back out to me. So obviously, if you're using like a cold outreach model for getting a client, you're going to have to send a lot of DMs. You're going to have to send a lot of emails, because a very small minority of them, will actually reach back out to you. So what I do instead is I have something that I call my super connector method for getting high-paying clients. Let's say I want to go after a big dog, somebody who's going to be able to afford to pay me a lot of money. Huge mistake that a lot of you guys are making when you're starting your agency is you go after small businesses. So let me give you an example. A lot of you would go after a plumber. A lot of you would go after a real estate agent. But these real estate agents, you know, the majority of them are making $50,000 to $80,000 a year. They don't have $1,000 a month to pay you to work. So you're going to end up taking 100, taking 200, which is fine when you're learning, but I don't want to grow to that. What I like to do is I like to go after bigger clients, people who I know have $1,000 a month. So let's say I'm going after a top 70% tier type of client. Well, usually they actually have someone else that they listen to for business advice, or you know, an agent, or somebody who helps point them in the right direction. Right? So what I do, and this is a really cool little method, I like to follow them on social for a little while and see who they're hanging out with, see who they're tagging, see who they're complimenting, see who they're appreciating in their stories, or they make a post and they tag so-and-so. Because what's cool is the main person I want to go after might have, let's say, 1 million followers, but then they tag somebody who's got like 20,000. Well, here's what's cool. The million guy, I want his attention, but he doesn't know me. And he gets a lot of DMs, he gets a lot of emails. He's probably hardcore filtering, right? So he might even have what we call a gatekeeper. He might have somebody who's checking his DMs for him and kind of filtering out the important ones. Well, the guy who he tagged, or the girl who he tagged, has 20,000. They don't get as many messages. They're not getting as many people hitting them up saying, hey, can I talk to you? So what I do is I follow that person. I then like, comment on, send emojis in their stories to kind of open a door, right? So they're my door into the person that I really want at the end of the day. I've used this method. I call it my super connector. Let's say you want to go after an athlete. Athlete has 1 million followers on Instagram. We know we can make them more money using the techniques that I'm talking about in this little series. So let's say I want to go after Rob Gronkowski. Great example. Rob Gronkowski is represented by a sports agent. That sports agent's job is to make Rob Gronkowski more money. So what we can do is we can connect with the sports agent who's not getting as many DMs, who actually checks their DMs because they're looking for potential new people to represent. And so you can go after the agent, and the agent then says, oh, hey, this is a really cool idea, great concept, can we get on the phone? That's what I'm doing. Instead of wasting my time having to go after thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, I say, okay, who has those people's ears? So that was my little tip for you guys along the way as we go. I'm getting more calls literally every day. Last night I was on my phone, I DM'd somebody, got a call coming next week. They are another super connector. They're somebody who literally helps brands grow on social using free content and using paid content. Well, if they're helping people do paid content, why wouldn't I come in and help them do this organic stuff using Instagram? So it's a win-win across the board. They'll be able to charge more for it, maybe white label our services. maybe get a cut, maybe we'll give them a kickback on it. Either way, we're gonna figure out what that looks like on a call next week. So instead of focusing your energy on a million outreach messages and a million emails and a million this, go after super connectors, follow people, see who they're listening to, see who they're hanging out with, and see if you can get in good with those people. Because it's gonna be so much faster for you. They're not getting as many messages. They're more likely to respond. And so far, I've had really good luck. Now, you're still gonna have to reach out to, let's say, 100 super connectors to get 10 to 15 to answer a message or to actually talk back to you. So some keys that you wanna be aware of. Number one, know what to say. Know how to leverage your first message. Number two, be consistent. The most success that I've had so far doing these methods, these outreach techniques, has been multiple outreach messages. And I do this in a very certain way, in a very particular manner. I reach out in a specific way with specific timing. I'm gonna be sharing that at Bots and Business Live, July 30th and 31st. Make sure you check below for your tickets. If you wanna see what I'm actually sending to these people, what I say to these super connectors, what I offer them to make it a win for them and a win for me, how I can almost overcharge for my services when I'm reaching out to those people, what my pricing actually is, and the tiers that I offer, because we offer about 3 different tiers with these programs. So I'm super excited to be able to share that stuff with you guys. We're gonna continue to share some tips, some tricks, some things that I'm having success with along the way. So if you haven't already, which I can't imagine why you wouldn't have yet, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. There's a button below the video. Hit subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this tactic, this technique of super connector versus manual outreach. Because I'm sure so many of you are watching this thinking, okay, yeah, an agency is great, but man, I don't have time to reach out to 1,000 different business owners or 1,000 different stores or 1,000 different these people. And it just seems demotivating to think I'm gonna have to send hundreds of emails to get 1 or 2 responses. Well, this is a way you can get around that. And super connectors exist in every different niche. So think about, okay, I wanna go into the e-commerce space. So I said, okay, who is in the e-commerce space that's a super connector? Who works with a lot of stores? Well, go after people who are coaching masterminds in the e-commerce space, people who actually teach specific things in the e-commerce niche. Right now, all of my potential pipeline clients, they're all coming from super connectors. I think I have like 2 or 3 that are like me directly reaching out to them. But even those people are connected to 3 to 5 people. That's the great thing about Instagram and the great thing about influencers and brands that are big. They're all connected to other people. Think about every brand that you might want to work with. They're connected to 15, 20 influencers. Every influencer is connected to 15, 20 other influencers because they always kind of tag each other. So knowing the ecosystem of Instagram, this is just gonna be a freaking gold mine. A literal, like, huge 5, 6 figure quickly business for just about anybody who wants to get in. If you know the ecosystem of Instagram, if you pay attention to what's going on, if you leverage super connectors, and you can actually provide value, which is what we're gonna be teaching at Bots and Business July 30th. And I don't wanna keep beating a dead horse, but if you haven't gotten your ticket, we have live and live stream versions of the tickets. Highly recommend you get a live ticket. Our early bird has somewhere around 30 tickets left. We've got rooms for you guys in the hotel. The hotel is gonna be absolutely stellar. We've got our coaches from our actual coaching program who are gonna come out, they're gonna teach manual outreach. They're gonna teach how you can use video, even if you don't like making videos, how you can use video to reach out to clients with scale. I'm gonna teach you guys my methods and show you guys the real full behind the scenes of what I'm doing to actually grow my business. We're gonna talk about how I actually pitch, how I sell, what I say, my closing technique, my 4-step closing technique that I use when I actually wanna close the sale. What do I say? You could literally walk in off the street to our Bots and Business Live and literally be ready to take on clients by the end of it. You're gonna walk away with all the tools, all the information, and guaranteed campaigns from this live event. There is no substitute to going to a live event. Trust me on that. Ask anybody who's been to a live event. You definitely wanna go. If this stuff sounds cool, click below, watch the video, grab your ticket to Bots and Business, grab a VIP ticket if you really wanna be special, because you can come and hang out with us and meet and have a little special VIP dinner. You'll get all the details on the page. Go check it out, and I'll see you guys in Nashville.